Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Everybody ready for an exciting fall sports season? Well, welcome back to Bear Backers. Got a few things that we want to get through before I get some of these coaches up here to talk to you. One quick note, we will be here every Monday through the fall sports season, except for next week. It'll be on Tuesday because of Labor Day. All right, everybody got that? Next week will be Tuesday, and then Mondays beyond that. All right, let's get going here. Cross country. Coach Weaver said, our men will have to overcome the loss of Pete Johnson from last year. I'm happy to see our men showed up to campus after putting in a long summer of work. We are starting in a great spot, which doesn't mean much, but looking forward to getting our season started with our home meet on Saturday. We've got some fuel to the fire with our 6th place preseason ranking. I know the guys are not happy about that, and it's been a blessing in terms of training and motivation. Coach Weaver also went on to talk about his women's team. He said our women's team is unrecognizable right now. Half of our team is brand new with mostly freshmen. Have a lot of confidence in who we brought in and don't expect them to race like freshmen. We have 2 all-conference performers back with Madeline Hill and Kaylee Wagnon. Our 4th place preseason ranking is probably fair because no one knows exactly what we have. So if you're free, only home meet of the season is this Saturday at Beaver Fork Lake. The women will run their 3-mile race starting at 8 a.m. and the men will run their 3-mile race starting at 9:10 a.m. The cross-country teams both have 3 meets over the next several months before they run their conference meet in the first weekend of November 1st. So that's the update on cross-country. Coach Weaver will plan to be here next week to give you all an update about the first meet of the season that will be here in Conway, and everybody's going to go out and see them. All right, moving on to men's soccer. Men's soccer team has played 3 exhibition matches against the University of Memphis, UMKC, and Christian Brothers. Then started the regular season with a 3-0 loss at University of Portland. This week they're going to play against UC Santa Barbara on Friday, or today, and then on Friday they play the University of Tulsa. The men aren't home again until September 21st, so a little bit of time before they are home again, but lots of matches in between there. First-year head coach Kyle Siegelbart said, the team has high expectations for itself. We are playing one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the country in order to test ourselves and continue to raise the profile of this program. In our opening game, we played the University of Portland, a traditional powerhouse on the West Coast in front of 5,000 fans. Our team did not play up to our potential, so we're going to have to dig a little deeper in training, looking to move forward as we play against UCSB tonight. About the opponent, Santa Barbara, they were an NCAA national tournament team last year and are predicted to be number 1 in the West Coast Conference this year. They have big expectations for the year. They always have a large crowd, and with the tradition of throwing tortillas on the field during home games, it's going to be a special night for the Bears. Looking forward to the challenge. ASUN released their preseason all-conference teams. Elijah Bishop was named preseason defensive player of the year. Goalkeeper Javi Ramirez, forward Devontae Richards, and forward Pietro Fontana were also named to the preseason teams. And the team itself was picked 4th in the preseason poll in the 8-team conference. So that'll get you started with men's soccer. Coach Kyle should be here next week to give you an update on some of their games. Women's soccer. Know a little bit about that program. So they started off the 25 season with a couple of exhibition matches against Northwest Mississippi Community College and Louisiana Tech. Before they started the regular season a week ago. We opened up with University of Tulsa, dropping that match 1-0, and then beat Louisiana Monroe 3-1 on the Sunday last week. Then the team traveled out to Hawaii. They're actually en route right now to head back. I think they get home. They land in Little Rock this afternoon about 4 o'clock. But out in Hawaii, they took on Hawaii on the first game on the Thursday and lost 1-0. And then they beat Sacramento State 1-0 yesterday. So off to a 2-2 start against good competition. That's a good start for the women's soccer team. So they're going to be at home this Thursday against A-State at 7 p.m. And then they're going to be down in Little Rock on Sunday at 6 p.m. Senior midfielder Nina Mazzola was named to the preseason All-ASUN conference team, and the team was picked 4th in the 12-team conference. To get you started with women's soccer. All right, we've got 2 coaches here today. Volleyball played an exhibition match at Missouri State on Saturday, and will start the regular season this week when they head down to Houston to play number 9 Texas A&M. And that's on Saturday, and then on Sunday they're going to play Rice. The ASUN preseason poll has the Sugar Bears picked 4th out of the 12 teams. Lacey Bohannon, Kaylin Kuntz, and Alexis McDaniel were all named to the preseason all-conference team. Let's hear more about it from head coach John Newberry.
Weird seeing Jeremy over here. It's good, though. All right. Well, a lot has changed since the spring. Our last time we were around, we had an incredible spring, had our transfers, everybody in. Everything was rolling. Anyway, so I want to first introduce new staff. One of them's been here kind of since February or March or so. It's Kennedy Johnson, right over here. Kennedy's, she played 5 years total, 4 years at North Alabama. We still hold that against her a little bit. And then 1 year, her 5th year, COVID year, there at SEMO, Southeastern Missouri State. Anyway, so finished her career as a setter over there, and now she's joining us here, still wearing purple, which we love to see. And then my newest one got here in early June. This is Joe Garcia. And Joe's been around the game for quite a while. Excited to have both these, a lot of just fresh vibes around the gym. The girls are loving it right now. So I purposely planned our non-conference schedule to make sure that we're going to be having competition, just great competition, knowing that we were going to be in a good position to possibly win, a handful of these potentially. So changing that up it's going to be definitely more of a challenge, but we're excited. Want to give congrats to Lacey Bohannon. She came in 2nd in our preseason all conference awards. Alexis McDaniels, our starting libero, she got the defensive player of the year. So coming back as a senior. What's cool about that also is that we have her little sister here with us now. So now we have two little McDaniels there in the back row, playing right next to each other. The older one's a little bit bigger, but if you know Alexis, she's got the biggest attitude out of anybody you'll ever meet. I always call her an ankle biter. She is. She'll go for your ankles if she needs to. She's a feisty one on the court. I'm excited to have them. And then once again, ASUN setter of the year, Kaylin Kuntz, just still standing out, still doing her thing, but nice to have her still with us as we go. But anyway, we're excited to get going. We knew Texas A&M was going to be tough. Did not expect them to be number 9. And that's a very good number 9. They're returning 10 seniors. They've got 2 national team players on their team right now. They're good. They're really, really good. It's definitely changed the landscape since all the revenue share and NIL monies. It's a little bit harder to get kind of some walk-ons here now. Anyway, they're just, some of these Power 5s are just loading up right now. So hopefully we can snag some of this as soon as our season's over with. But we're excited to get going. On Sunday we've got Rice and a very comparable team. They were picked 1st in their league this past season, but we're excited to play those guys. They're very similar style of what we do, and then hopefully come back with some at least one of those wins for sure. The Texas A&M is going to be a tall order, but we've done it before. Hopefully we can do it again. So glad to see everybody back. And little update: I've joined the Readers Club. Didn't bring them, but I have readers now. Yeah, so they've been helpful on the bus. Getting on my phone now, everything's so bright and clear. I can see pixels. The letters are bigger. I don't know what I've been missing out on, but man, those things they're underrated. I feel like we need to get more readers out for this world. So I'm excited to join that club. So anyway, y'all have a great day. Thank you, guys.
I do have readers, but I'm not wearing them. So, Football, UAC preseason poll has us predicted to finish 5th in the 9-team conference. The Bears have 5 players named to the All-UAC preseason all-conference team, and offensive lineman Will Diggins and Jamal Mull, wide receiver Malachi Henry, defensive lineman Bradley Clark, and defensive back Dylan Williams. The Bears open the 25 season at Missouri on Thursday. And then they've opened their home schedule the following Saturday, September 6th, here on the Stripes against UAPB. Let's hear from Coach Nathan Brown to talk about the 25 season.
It's good to be back. See and keep up with a lot of you over the off season. See you at other sporting events. So getting the fall schedule kicked off is always a plus for UCA athletics. I do want to say, Natalie, it's good to see you here. Been praying for you. Yes. You've meant a lot to a lot of us, so you just know you got us on. We got your back, okay? But yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about an overview of the season and a little bit of what we've seen in Missouri. If there's specifics that I miss, I'll take questions at the end. Feel free to shoot them my way. But, one, excited about the new opportunity 2025 presents. Right out of the gates, we'll get an opportunity to play really a great opportunity for recruiting our program, to set ourselves up on a national stage for our branding in playing the University of Missouri. A lot of familiarity with the University of Missouri, with Coach Eli Drinkwitz and the job that he's done there as head coach. Eli is an Arkansas native. Many of you know that, but spent time at the high school ranks between Van Buren and Springdale High School, which then made his way up to Arkansas State. Went to Boise State, NC State, got his first head job a few years back at Appalachian State. And then from there, after 1 year at App State, he got the Missouri job. What a great job he's done in that program. And if you don't understand how good a job he's done, he's won 21 games in the last 2 years. He was a Cotton Bowl champion 2 years ago. He was a Gator Bowl champion last year. Guy just wins. Got a lot of respect for Eli. Known him for a long time. He's hired a couple coaches away from me, so we've had conversations through that as well. But utmost respect for him and what he does, not just as an offensive-minded coach, but how he manages a team as a head coach. Very impressive. And has really turned Missouri into a perennial top 20 program. And if you would have said that, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, you probably would have said that can't happen. But he's done a great job of that in that program. So, I was visiting with Jeremy the other day, and he was asking, we were doing a rundown of the season, and we got to talking about, non-conference games, what the conference looks like, how do we stand up in a lot of the games this year. And you put games like this against Missouri in its own category, right? This is a mountain. This game's like anytime you're playing a Power 4 opponent, it's a mountain to climb. And it's a great opportunity to climb the mountain, but we know that this game is going to pose difficulties and challenges that are really unmatched the rest of the year. And so one thing that we are presenting ourselves and our program with and our players is our goal in this game is to make it a 4-quarter game. If you make it a 4-quarter game, then anything can happen. You look 2 years ago at Oklahoma State, we're playing a Big 12 team that played in the Big 12 championship game, and we had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter. You can rewind years ago to Ole Miss. We take the lead in at halftime. You look at Colorado in 2012, we had a chance to win that game on the last possession. We had the ball. So this is not a foreign area for the UCA football program. We have gone toe-to-toe with Power 4 teams, several times in our Division I history. And so this is no different. So, we're looking forward to the challenge. One of the things that we talked about as a coaching staff is on Thursday, if we can get their coaching staff going in at halftime and having to coach. In other words, they're having to make adjustments. They're having to coach their players on certain things and aspects. then we're going to make that a 4-quarter game. So what does that mean? We have to start fast. We have to start fast. We have to limit turnovers. We have to limit the big play. We have to take advantage of special teams opportunities. Don't give up a big return. Don't give up points in that phase of the game. That's going to be an important piece to Thursday night. As you fast forward, let's skip it just so I can give you a quick overview. A very challenging schedule, a fun schedule, to be quite honest. Looking forward to the non-conference slate. Obviously, getting our first home game in 2 weeks against University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Had a home-and-home series with those guys over the last couple of years. Look, that's a great matchup for many reasons. Just financially, for the fans, for both institutions. Just a lot of pluses to that. We're fortunate enough to be able to host University of Arkansas Pine Bluff this year. And then if you want to look at the rest of the non-conference, we go to Lamar, which Lamar is, I think, picked third in the Southland Conference. And obviously we saw 2 Southland Conference teams play Saturday. If you watch college football, Nichols and UIW, Lamar was actually picked ahead of Nichols. So you saw how good Nichols looked. So Lamar's got a good program. They've turned that program around. Played them at home last year. We returned the favor on a return trip down there, I believe week 4. And then we make a trip to Sacramento State, which is kind of a random trip, but what a great opportunity to play a program that's investing a lot into their team. They're a preseason top 15 team. I think in one poll they're 12th, and the other poll they're 15th. So what a great challenge that'll be, flying to the West Coast and playing a nationally recognizable non-conference game at this level. That's a big deal. That's going to help you in November if you put yourself in a position to be in for a playoff bid. And then a challenging United Athletic Conference schedule, just like it has been the last 3 years. So it's a great opportunity. Tarleton State played Saturday in week 0. They look like they're supposed to look. 42-0 win against Portland State. We've got them week 3, so that's an early conference game. And then you can go down the list. I think this was one of the most challenging conferences in the league. I think it's a great move for football being in this conference. If you look at the RPI of this conference, it was ranked 3rd in the country last year. So just behind the Big Sky and just behind the Missouri Valley. Challenging games in this schedule every week within this conference, and I think that's what we want. We want competition. We want to play against teams that are highly thought of. That's going to allow for great football games, right? Great competitive matchups, but also respect. And so respect is important when it gets down to the nuts and bolts of why we play this game. We play this game to be a conference champion, but also put yourself in a position to be a playoff bid team every single year. And so by playing these teams, it's going to give you the opportunity to get that. So looking forward to the 2025 season. It's going to be a lot of new faces, new numbers. I think that's college athletics in general. It's part of it. But it's fun and challenging as a coach. I mean, every single year you may have some very good retention numbers, but retention is getting harder and harder to come by. And so, with that being said, I think we do as good a job as any program at this level of football. For sure in the South, I can confirm that we do as good a job as anybody in retention. Our players enjoy Central Arkansas. They enjoy the community. They enjoy the university. Their collegiate experience is always high caliber. So it's easy to keep young men in your program when that's the case. And so we do a very, very good job, not just with our coaching staff, but our support staff and our faculty and community members do a great job of making our players feel welcome and wanting to stay in Conway, Arkansas. That's a big deal. But with that being said, you are going to have attrition. You are going to have to replace talented players, whether it's by graduation, whether it's by transferring, for various reasons. So this is a year of transition with a lot of new names and faces. And I'll tell you this, it's been a fun transition for me as a coach. Obviously taking a different role this year, and many of you know through reading or through the off season, assuming the offensive play calling duties and basically coordinating the offense is going to be new for me this year. The part as far as calling plays and scheming up touchdowns and trying to create an explosive offense, that's not new or foreign to me. I mean, I feel like I can do that. But being a head coach at the same time of doing it is new. And so it's been fun, but it's been like a B12 shot for me. It's kind of re-energized me. It's got me excited about coming to work every day. I feel like I can enhance the creativity we play with on offense, in turn putting our playmakers in advantageous situations on every single snap. And I think that's my goal, is to be a simplistic offense that gives the illusion of a lot of complexity. And I think we're playing fast. I think we're playing with a lot of energy. I think we're going to have a fun brand of offense when you watch our program this year. It's going to be fun to watch, I promise. Defensive coordinator Chad Williams is back for his second stint with us. Coach Stacks, fan favorite, over his course of his two tenures here with Coach Campbell, and then coming back with me the last 2 years. I get a picture about once a week. Coach Stacks will send me a picture of him fishing on the beach. He's enjoying retired life, so I'm happy for him and his family, and he's had a long, great career doing this in the coaching world, and I hope I can make it as long as he did. But he transitioned to retirement, and I was fortunate enough to have Coach Chad Williams basically on speed dial. Coach Williams left me in 2020. He was my defensive coordinator in 19 and 20. In 19 and 20, we were a pretty good program. We were a national seed playoff team and Southland Conference champion in 2019 with Coach Williams calling our defense. 2020, I think we had the team to do the exact same thing. We were just hit by COVID. It's just an unfortunate year to not be able to compete for a conference championship. But we played a difficult fall schedule with a lot of hoops and headaches to jump through. But Coach Williams was coordinating our defense that year as well. He had the opportunity in 2021 to go back to his alma mater, Southern Miss, where he was a Hall of Fame football player there, to go coach defense down there for the last 4 years. And they were in a time of transition, and Coach Williams, I called him and he said, "What time do I need to be there?" And so I'm excited to get Chad back. Chad's got a decade plus of NFL experience. He was a safety for the Baltimore Ravens for all those Ed Reed, Ray Lewis teams that were dominant. Chad Williams was right there with them as a player, which that pedigree is huge when you're talking about recruiting, when you're talking about stability within a defense, and just listening to him, right? Like, he's got experience. He gets it. He's called defenses not only at this level of ball, at the FBS level, but he's also lived it at the highest level as an actual player. So excited about that. And then in the third phase of the game, special teams, Coach Cree Trammell, also a fan favorite of a lot of people. Coach Cree's been with me for the last 4 years. He has assumed the role of special teams coordinator. He's still coaching my corners, but he is a aggressive young coach. He's as loyal as they come. He is a superstar. You guys that may have had the time to get to know him, just blink. That guy will probably be coaching in the NFL or in the SEC when you wake up 10 years from now. I mean, he's just that big time a coach, in my opinion. He's getting a chance to run our special teams. Plan to run a little bit more of an aggressive style special teams this year. We've been kind of a reactionary special teams unit, which has its pluses. Don't put the ball in jeopardy. Don't make a mistake. Keep them in front of you. But I think we need to produce more. We need to create more excitement on special teams, whether it's being creative in the return game, going and blocking a punt, doing some things that are going to put our players in a position to give us good field position for offense, or give them negative field position when our defense comes out there. So Cree's been tasked with that in the offseason, along with our great coaching staff, to try to manufacture an advantage in special teams, the third phase of the game. And so that's big. So, it's a year of three, the three phases are getting 3 new play callers this year, as opposed to the last couple of years. And I'll tell you this, I couldn't do what I'm doing as an offensive coach without a great staff. And I'd be dumb not to mention those guys. I mean, Gunnar Boykin on the offensive line, he's been with me. Jake Walker with wide receivers. Chase Forcade with quarterbacks. Brooks Hollingsworth is back as our tight ends coach, along with Cam Raggio, who's also an offensive GA in that tight ends room, and then Will Kennedy with the running backs. It's a top-notch staff. I mean, I had a conference call with the SEC Network this morning that kind of took about an hour and a half of my time this morning. Those coaches didn't skip a beat, and they kept working and evaluating and game planning and doing that, that's huge for me. And so that's a big deal. As far as players go, I could talk specifics. I know the million-dollar question is the quarterback position. Looking forward to playing two guys. I've got two starter caliber players on our roster right now in Austin Myers and Luther Richardson. Austin has been with us for the last 3 years. He's a homegrown kid. Nothing gets me more joy than a kid like that representing your program. You want to talk about just the face of UCA, could be Austin Myers. I mean, and I'll tell you this, he's a bona fide quarterback too. Don't get it twisted. He's as sweet as they come, but he can play the position of quarterback. He's been waiting for his turn. Unfortunately, last year he was going to get his shot when Will McIlvain went down. He went down pretty quick after that with a season-ending injury. So, the last 3 games of the year we were struggling at the position of quarterback, just health-wise, and it was unfortunate for Austin not to get his shot. But Austin is a polished kid, really good in the pocket, can make all the throws, very athletic, doesn't get credit for how athletic he is. So looking forward to watching him continue to grow at that position, along with Luther Richardson, who's a transfer for us, brought him in January, went through spring ball with us, transferred from Middle Tennessee State, signed with Cincinnati out of high school, 4-star recruit out of high school, big-time recruit, big physical kid, 6'3", 225 pounds, looks like he was built in a lab. His dad's been a strength coach in the NFL for 20 years. He's been the head strength coach for the Texans, the Broncos, and the Titans. His mom won 3 gold medals in the '92 Olympics. He was built in a lab. He's pretty unique. So both of them ultra competitive. Both of them have grasp of the team as far as leadership goes. And both of them are going to play on Thursday night. And, I want to see both of them get their nose bloodied. I want to see both of them get a black eye. I want to see both of them have adversity. I want to see how they react. And what a great opportunity to do that at Missouri, because there's going to be adversity hit. That ain't going to go perfect. Nothing's going to go perfect on Thursday night. I may have 10 plays scripted, and I'll call 2 of them on the first drive. It's all right. Let's see how we react and respond to it, right? I need to see those guys in the fire, and I need to see them when they don't have a red jersey on. I need to see who's going to move the chains. I need to see who's going to put their body on the line for the team. I need to see a lot of that stuff, and those guys know that. And the cool part about it is they're starting to love each other, and that's what's fun. You can be a competitive person, but if you don't love the person next to you and you don't have a true, genuine love and feeling for their success too, then you're not going to be successful as a team. And so when you got 2 of your top-end guys that are starting to love each other and root for success of one another, then you've got something special. And so we're starting to get that. This has been a fun team to coach. There's a difference in liking and loving your team, and I've said that in several interviews. I'm really genuinely starting to like this team. It's my job. It's I've got to walk into work every day, whether I want to or not. I've got to love my boys, don't I? Whether they do right, whether they do wrong, whether they make a mistake, they stub their toe, Coach Brown's going to love you as a coach. Doesn't mean I have to like you as much, right? But I'm starting to like these guys. They're fun. They're fun to coach, and there's not a lot of egos in there. And so doesn't mean some aren't going to develop. It's part of it, right? We're in college sports. Egos are going to develop. But right now we're in a really good spot. You don't have a bunch of superstars coming back. You don't have a bunch of, 8, 10 guys on the preseason all-conference list. Guess what? That's okay. I love our depth. I love our positions that we've recruited certain guys to come fill spots. We're in a good spot to be in. Now, gauging that against Missouri, that'll be fun. That'll be a challenge. But what we have to do is we've got to go out and compete. And if we go out and compete and let our unity, who we are as human beings, who we are as competitors take over, then we'll have a shot. And I have no doubt about that. So excited about those guys. A few other names I want to mention on offense. Jeremy mentioned 2 preseason guards, Jamal Moe and Will Diggins. We're going to run the football, guys. I want to be a physical offense. I want to control the line of scrimmage. And then I want to be creative in the play-action game. Look, we're going to move. We're going to motion. We're going to do a lot of shifting. We're going to put defenses in disadvantages by the way that we move around and the way that we formation you. We will also play fast and play with tempo, but it takes great movement up front to run the ball. Have those 2 All-American caliber guards. Both of them could have left. For us to retain those 2 guys, trust me, they were fielding calls, and they're back. And so that's huge for us. That's huge for us as a program to have Jamal and Will back. I think we've got a bona fide all-conference tight end in Jackson Kosmeyer. Ben Hallmark's right behind him at the position of tight end. Tight end will be used a lot, okay? Not only in the pass game, but also in the run blocking game. We'll move them around. They'll be extended out. They'll be in 2 tight sets. We'll run 3 tight ends at times. We may run 3 running backs at times. I promise. I'm going to be creative. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. At running back, Landon Chambers, he wore 25 last year. You saw him in limited action behind Shunderick and Darius. Landon Chambers is a budding superstar. I'm just telling you, looking forward to watching that kid grow and spread his wings. He'll wear number 0 this year for us. He's about 6 foot tall, 5'11". If he's got his cleats off, 225 pounds, big physical back, big legs, walks around. You can just see his quads popping out. I mean, that's what you want a running back to look like. Probably doesn't have the top end speed is what kept some of the P4 schools from recruiting him out of high school, but still a heavily recruited kid out of high school. Fortunately for us, we were able to sign him a couple years ago. He's waiting and ready to go. He's had a good spring, a good summer, and a good fall camp. He's going to carry the ball a lot for us, and we need him to have a big year. Defensively, returning to all conference players, Bradley Clark in the middle. Need the guy in the middle, right? Man in the middle. Talked about controlling the line of scrimmage on offense. We've got to control the line of scrimmage on defense. Bradley Clark, 6'2", 330 pounds from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. He was an all-conference caliber player. I'll tell you this, he had 3 or 4 Power 4 schools wearing him out in the offseason as well, and he decided to stay. This place means something to him. He got his degree this summer. He's playing with it in his back pocket. He's wanted to stay home. He was the PFF-rated, 3rd-rated FCS defensive tackle in the country last year. That's how good he was. And so Bradley's big in the middle, and then Dylan Williams, our leading returning tackler at the boundary safety position. Chad Williams is kind of like me. He's going to put his players in positions to succeed. You'll see Dylan playing boundary safety. You'll see him playing nickel. You'll see him playing will linebacker. We're going to put him where the ball goes. He's a talented football player that gets ball carriers down. So looking forward to that. Also of note, Dude Person is back, so both of our starting safeties are back. Dude was our 3rd leading tackler last year. Get him back is a huge deal too. So that's important. So feel good about our defensive front and our front 7. Once again, we're going to be a little bit more of an attacking style defense than maybe what we were the last couple of years. But it's going to be fun to watch. And we've got some new guys on the edge and some guys. How you going to replace David Walker? Well, you're not going to replace David Walker, right? You're just not. But you can do it by committee, and I feel like our committee is pretty solid from those positions. But yeah, I mean, that's a quick rundown. Again, a lot of new names, a lot of new faces. Really, really challenging schedule. Which great. Let's go. Let's have fun with it. And obviously that first mountain to climb against Missouri is going to be a fun opportunity for our guys to get on the national stage. I mean, you got a SEC Network primetime game on Thursday night, and what a great opportunity that is to go against Coach Drinkwitz and that program and what they've created up there. So with that being said, I'd love to take any specific questions if someone may have one.
So outside of the quarterback position, what was one of the biggest question marks that you had at the beginning of this offseason that's been most solidly answered throughout spring ball and summer camp?
Kind of alluded to it there at the end. Pass rushing. When you graduate, David, who was a 13 sack guy last year, how do you replace that? And so, Buck Cobbs is back as a returning starting defensive end, opposite of David. Sam Horton had 4 sacks last year as David's backup in a limited role, so that means he was as productive by play as anybody on our team. It was pretty phenomenal. So Sam Horton's going to assume that starting bandit role, which David had last year. We also were fortunate enough to sign a couple of transfers that are going to come in and really push for a ton of playing time, if not starting time at some point, in Jacoby Shell and Gary Lewis, both transfers from Henderson State, both D2 All-Americans last year. So that they were big signees for us, both in-state kids getting a chance to live out their Division I dream here at UCA, similar to the way David Walker did coming from SAU. Also signed Travion Traylor from Northwest Missouri State. He's also an in-state kid, but he was a productive interior defensive line, shifting him out to the edge for Northwest Missouri, which is one of the best D2 programs in the country. He'll be our starting 4I, our starting defensive tackle, I guess is what you could call it. But he's added a mix and a playmaking ability that we've needed. So I would say the edge rushers, that's the question I had, but it's been answered. I mean, we're really good at pass rushing, playing the pass and getting to the quarterback, at least from what I've been able to see in practice. That'll be put to the test, obviously, on Thursday night. I'm sure those guys are going to have some 6'6", 6'7" defense or offensive tackles that going to be tough to get around, but that'll be a good challenge for us. We'll see how good we are. Yeah, so Trace Beard is back as punter. Trace Beard is an all-conference caliber punter, averaged, I think, right at 41 yards a punt last year. You come to practice and you watch him, he's a booming guy. I don't want to see him a lot. I don't like the punter very much out there. But when he's out there, he's very solid. So excited to have Trace back. We had a kicking battle, and it's kind of still going for the field goal spot. Devin Jackson and Caleb Jones are both young kids, both redshirt freshmen. Devin's from North Little Rock, Arkansas. Caleb's from Texarkana, Texas. Both of them are talented kids, not huge legs, but very accurate. Probably that 45, 46, 47-yard range would be the furthest that I would feel comfortable with them being accurate with. But looking forward to that competition continuing itself. Jace Quirin will assume kickoff duties. He's a kid that's an area we needed to improve on too, was just kicking the ball to the end zone, with good hang time. And when we didn't get to the end zone, have the hang time and placement to where we can cover a kick. Jace does a good job of that. Great hang time, big leg, can put it in the end zone pretty consistently. So that's been important. So return game, Malachi Henry is going to be our starting punt returner. Ty Durham and Manny Smith will be kickoff return guys. Ty Durham is a transfer receiver from Coffeyville Community College. We signed him mid-year. And obviously Manny Smith, his role is going to expand on offense as well as special teams. Excited about him and what he brings to the table. But feel very solidly in our kicking game. Everybody good? All right. Hey, look, this is a big opportunity for us Thursday night. Appreciate you guys, and if you can't make the trip Thursday, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of restaurants in town showing the game. I would assume it's a nationally televised game, the SEC network, so root on them boys. They've been working hard, and then we look forward to seeing everybody back here for the Pine Bluff game the second week of the season. Thank you, guys.
Timing worked out. I thought I had too much information, so we flew through it. But Coach Brown carried the show again. Well done. Introduced to you, Athletic Director Matt Whiting. He's got a couple things to talk to you about.
How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Well, good. Everybody have a good summer? That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, it is great to be back. We're excited. We've already kicked off the fall season, but, today kind of feels like the official kicking off with Bearbackers starting back up. So very excited about that and appreciate you all being here today. Wanted to introduce a couple new folks on our staff. He's already been to the podium and spoken several times, doing a great job. Jeremy Bishop, our new Assistant AD for Media Relations in our office and administration, led our women's soccer program 13 seasons, Jeremy? 13 seasons, did a great job. And we're fortunate to bring him into administration. He's done a great job, been in the role for a month and continuing to do a great job there. Also want to introduce Matt Branch right here. Matt just joined our staff. He's our new Director of Creative Services. Matt is from Whitehall originally, and he is joining us from Ouachita Baptist University, so just trading purples, and we're excited to have Matt on board as well. Kylie Griffin. Everybody knows that name. Kylie was a long-time four-year starter for us in softball, has now a graduate assistant in our office helping with compliance, and excited to have Kylie on board as well. So we're fully staffed, and we're excited about that. And like I said, we're here to kick off the fall. I wanted to talk briefly about, probably saw some news this summer about the United Athletic Conference and the Atlantic Sun Consortium. So I wanted to hit some high notes on that and hopefully explain that for everyone here, just to give you a better picture of what that means, okay? So we have competed in the United Athletic Conference in football for the last 4 or 5 years. And what it essentially has been is an Atlantic Sun WAC partnership, okay? So we branded it the United Athletic Conference, and that's what it's been called. But think of it as an Atlantic Sun and WAC partnership. Well, the WAC, we're down to five full-time members, full sports playing members, okay? And so earlier this summer, it was announced that Southern Utah and Utah Tech, who we currently play in football, would be moving to the Big Sky Conference in 2026. So that left three full-time members in the Western Athletic Conference. That would be Abilene Christian, Tarleton State, and Texas Arlington, okay? So we've been playing football against Tarleton State and also Abilene Christian. UT Arlington does not sponsor football. So what does the consortium, what does the alliance mean? Well, essentially, you're not creating a brand new conference. We have the United Athletic Conference out there. And so one kind of interesting fact that I don't think a lot of people knew is we, the Atlantic Sun, owned the AQ for football. But we are essentially taking the United Athletic Conference to be an all-sport conference, okay? So an all-sport conference. The consortium means that we are working together with the Atlantic Sun. We will share leadership. Commissioner Jeff Bacon will be the executive director of the consortium. We have a lot of steps to work through there, but very excited about that. But both will operate as two separate conferences with their own set of AQs for championship access, okay? So we will be in the United Athletic Conference in all sports beginning in 2026, except for men's soccer and beach volleyball. And why is that? The United Athletic Conference does not have enough teams to sponsor both of those sports on that side of the equation, so they will participate in the Atlantic Sun, which is great, similar to what we've been doing. And if you think about it, we're playing the same schools we've been playing in football. And why am I excited about that? Well, when you look at what the makeup of the United Athletic Conference will be, there will initially be 8 schools in there, okay? So then you'll have the 7 that we've competed against on the Atlantic Sun side in the Atlantic Sun Conference. Well, 7 of those 8 that are in the United Athletic Conference sponsor football, just like us. Like-minded institutions, like resource institutions, very similar to us, look and feel across the board. So excited about that. Now, what does the alliance, what does the consortium create for us aside from sharing staff, sharing, all those types of things? Well, we can commingle assets. So, for instance, we'll have 2 media rights assets, the Atlantic Sun and the United Athletic Conference. We just went through an exercise this past year to take the Atlantic Sun basketball tournament to Jacksonville. Well, guess what? We're going to be going through the exercise to figure out where the United Athletic Conference will be playing their basketball tournament beginning in 26-27. So a lot of work to be done, but very excited about it. If you think about it, we have been competing against 11 other teams in all sports. Take football out of the equation for a minute for our AQ. Initially, we're going to be competing against 7 other institutions within the United Athletic Conference, having 8 schools. Now, you may ask, do we want to expand? I think everybody in the United Athletic Conference wants to expand, but we want to do it strategically. And I really believe the partnership, the alliance, the consortium gives us an opportunity to do that strategically. So you may see some additional news coming. I don't think anybody's all settled. I think the world of college athletics is changing rapidly every day. But I do think we'll want to see us expand. What is that number? Is it 10? Is it 12? Is it 11? We don't know yet. We want to make sure that we do it strategically and it's in the best interest of all the schools involved. So, but I think there is tremendous and great opportunity for us there as well. Now also, why am I excited about that? Well, what does that mean for our student athletes, for our coaches, for our fans? Move to United Athletic Conference. It's less travel. You can look at the footprint. It's less travel. So that's less time out of class, shorter trips. I think that's great for all of our everybody involved within our program, and we're certainly excited about that. Another thing that I'm very excited about, when you look at the footprint of the schools that will be in the United Athletic Conference, I think Central Arkansas is positioned very well within that footprint and gives us a chance to maybe, in the Atlantic Sun, we've kind of been the western outlier there, but if you look at the footprint of the United Athletic Conference, I think we're positioned well, and so that gives us a lot of opportunity and maybe some more things to come on that front. But we're excited about that. It is a consortium. It is an alliance, but think of it as 2 separate conferences with their own set of AQs in all sports. So that's a great move for us, and we're thrilled about that. Looking forward to that move in July 26. Yes, sir, Bobby.
That'll give us a good chance to build some rivalries, too.
I think so, Bobby. I really do.
That's what we've been missing.
Well, I think it certainly provides that opportunity, and we're excited about that. And again, we've been competing against the majority of these schools in football, right? So kind of go back to like-minded, like resource institutions. One thing I did not mention when I talk about that alliance, one of the other things that I'm very excited about, when you think about scheduling in this environment in college athletics is challenging. It is very challenging. There's a lot of movement. You kept up with the house settlement, you have NIL, you have the transfer portal and all those things. And so there's a lot of factors, and scheduling, I think every coach in here would tell you that building out a schedule is very challenging. Well, with this alliance, in a lot of sports, gives us a chance to create some unique scheduling opportunities, built-in scheduling opportunities with really good teams, really good competition. Just give you an example. We currently in men's basketball play an Atlantic Sun SoCon Challenge. The second team escapes me this year, but I know we play Samford here in men's basketball. I can't remember who the second team is. I apologize for that, but that's an Atlantic Sun SoCon Challenge that we've been doing in men's basketball. Great non-conference matchup. We have a home game out of it this year. We played the Citadel here last year, same thing. Well, you could see an Atlantic Sun UAC alliance scheduling like that, scheduling challenge. And I think that can expand into a lot of other sports. So excited about the opportunity that presents for us as well. We've got a lot of work to do on that front, but I want all of you to know it's a great situation for the University of Central Arkansas, and we're excited about it. So we're going to have our hands full over this next year, making sure that we get everything lined out there, but a great move for us. What about any questions that I can answer from anyone in here? Yes, sir, Dr. Bradley.
I think it might be time to consider Harding as a conference member. I think they've been national champions in Division II, and consistently good at football and basketball. It wouldn't hurt to get a close rivalry again, and I think to some degree, if they want to, and that's the if, I don't know, Harding has definitely earned a chance to move up, and I hope you will consider them as you're looking at new schools, because I think they've earned the right. Now, whether they want to do that, I don't know.
Yeah, no, great question, Dr. Bradley. And so also, you know, some of the factors in college athletics right now, I think it's been pretty clear that there is a lot of the other Division I institutions and some of the power conferences really want to put a stop to Division II transitions, right? And so the NCAA Board of Directors, which we are so grateful to have, I know he had to slip out of here, but Dr. Davis serve on that and provide great insight. Great to have his leadership on that. Issued a moratorium on membership at their August meeting. And so what that means is basically if schools had received a letter of interest from a Division I conference, then they're okay as far as being able to move up, a Division II school that would be. And so all the schools that are out there, you know, I think a lot of that information is kept close to the vest. But I think what we're seeing with the power conferences is that they want to stop a lot of those transitions. I think that's also why you've probably seen fewer FCS programs make the move to FBS in the last couple of years. Not to mention the $5 million reclassification fee that changed from $5,000 to $5 million, but that's okay. You know, here's the deal. We are in a volatile time in college athletics. The last 5 years, I've said this, probably said it in here, have been about as volatile a time as there's ever been in college athletics. And the next 5 to 10 are going to be equally as challenging. But we are positioned well for success here at UCA and very excited about that. So a lot more to come, Dr. Bradley, but want to make sure that we strategically add any members that are a great fit for all the schools and also, you know, a great brand and great fit within the conference. Cheney.
I'd like to say what Bob just said, that we have more of an outreach, we have more of our students begin at the ball game, be better crowds and everything too.
Well, you know, Cheney, you're probably right, and I agree with that. And I'll tell you, attendance is a moving target. There's so many entertainment options that are out there, but we always want to have more and more students in the games. I can't tell you enough how excited I am about the United Athletic Conference move. I think it's great for us. Again, I talk about, you know, regionally where we're located. I think it's a positive for the University of Central Arkansas, and I think you'll see some more news on maybe further happenings within that. Probably bring everything more to light over the next few months within the league as well. Cody.
On new staff, Tyler's looking as well.
Tyler. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you over there. Tyler's a new team member with our sponsorship team. Excited to have Tyler here from Wichita State. Excited to have Tyler on board. He's doing a great job. Been here for a couple weeks and just working hard with our sponsorship team, and excited to have you here, Tyler. Thanks, Cody. What about any other questions?
Go Bears.
All right, let's have a great week. Go Bears. Go Sugar Bears. Bear claws up.